Mighty Mike. One rainy night, Dodge and all the engines were alone. Dodge was ill. The men worked hard, but he didn't get better. And the engines were worried which one of them will be the first to get his goods tomorrow. One rainy afternoon, it was daylight when the rain stopped, but Dodge normally pulls the first train. I think I'm ready, said Daisy, and trundled away. Daisy was the first one to try out when suddenly Daisy broke down and she couldn't move. Her brake blocks were jammed and she couldn't move anymore. Just then, Thomas was the one to try out. He was coupled. When the old coupling snapped, Thomas's wheels kept spinning and spinning. Then Thomas fell off and tumbled upside down. And Mighty Mark was the third one to try. Soon Mighty Mark pushed Daisy out of the way, and Daisy went into a siding. Mighty Mark was going too fast when suddenly he bashed into the truck. He biffed the trucks really hard, and Mighty Mark came off the rails, and then the wheels were jammed and muddy. Mighty Mark stopped, and Mike was the last one to try. And Mike, the Oldesdale Railway engine, was the last one to try out. He was coupled to the train, and he knew he could, and he was ready to know that he could do it. I'll do it, said Mike. You will, said the Fat Controller, and Mike steamed away. I'll be ready, said Mike. It became raining The rain came again this afternoon, but Mike wasn't enjoying this. He struggled and struggled. He struggled and struggled and found it difficult. Oh, said Mike, and the fog laid everywhere. Oh, said Mike, but he was making it up the hill. He was worried that he was going to break down. I'm scared, said Mike. I'm scared, said Mike, and forgotten what he said to himself. I'm Mighty Mike, he said. I'm not always that scared of anything, he said. At last, he went through the hill and up the Action Canyon. I'll make it through the bridge, he said. But the trucks were heavy. At last, Mike made it and pulled them strong. I can do it, said Mike, but the trucks were heavy. Ugh, said Mike, and made it down the hill. At last, Mike made it. Mike made it, and then he was ready to go back. I can do it, said Mike, and at last he can feel the strength within his boiler. I can do it, said Mike, and he did. At last he came back to the next siding when the Fat Controller was there. Well done, Mike, he said. Looks like the rain stopped. I am mighty and strong, said Mike. Well done, said the Fat Controller. Now, looks like this afternoon Dodge is feeling really well again now, so you can do your own thing again. Hooray, said Mike, and Mike chuffed away. But he must never forget to take the goods. But he must not forget to take the goods train as a stealing thing. He left it in the yards for Dodge to take while he's still well again. Mike was was now one Mighty Mike, and was a really useful engine indeed. And he is. He became really useful, and he is also from the Arlesdale Railway, or in the Sodor Railway as well.